I'm Luis. I am the ticket sales manager with the Marion Berries. I was probably the second full time employee hired, and yeah, very excited for the project. Excited to bring this to Salem. I have about 8 years of ticket sales experience with the Trailblazers. So very excited to bring my experience and being in a professional sports environment over to Salem to bring a world class experience to the fans here. As I am also a longtime Salemite, so I'm very excited for the city and the community to have this.
Nice. All right, you're up to bat.
I'm Frankie. I'm a concessions manager. I've been in hospitality for 10 plus years, so I'll be running the concession stand with the menu and Marion Berry themed food ideas.
Yeah, which we're excited to be a part of. So
We're excited to be part of Salem.
yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I love your guys' logos. I love the first time I saw it. I was like, wow, you guys nailed it, nailed it. And we had a franchisee meeting yesterday, and I was talking about what we're gonna be doing with you guys.
Yeah.
And some of them didn't even realize that Marion Berries are actually born here in the Northwest. That the actual Marion Berry itself is from this area, and so that's really neat. You guys are able to tie into that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really cool.
We support all the berries, but
Yeah, we're very inclusive.
Wow, wow! You guys are in the office going, so we can mix it in this way, we can mix it in that way. This is going to be great. But
Yeah.
so season opens when?
The season at home is going to be opening on June 23rd. It's going to be our first home game. That's opening day. We are going to be starting our season overall on June 3rd. Our first game is going to be at Ridgefield. And so in those 3 weeks before we start at home, we're going to be playing on the road. But yeah, June 23rd for the home opener.
What is that like? That's like rookie treatment or something? Since you guys are brand new.
No, we've
Yeah,
just, no. There's been a few delays to construction because when you're trying to deal with construction, when
Yeah.
you're trying to remodel a ballpark that has been around for a long time, but kind of like needed a facelift, that's just kind of something that you run into because construction inevitably has delays. Is kind of the nature of that. So
Yeah.
with that, we had to delay the home opener. But hey, like we want to bring fans a great experience. So. It's like unfortunate we had to move it, but in order to make it happen, then 3 weeks on the road to start off.
Remodeling a bar park is quite an undertaking,
Yeah.
and we've opened up stores and grown that way, and so it's a lot of with no curveballs.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like knuckleballs. It just
Yeah.
feels like it's really rough to get your to get wrapped into it. But so what the concessions, which we're going to be dealing with you guys, is how is that? I mean, you guys got all that ready to go, and as far as
as soon as we get into the ballpark, we'll be building out the concession stand. So
nice.
it's gonna be a journey.
No, it's gonna be. Well, I will. We can help however you need help too, though. I got lines for equipment. I got different things that we can do. We also have some different things. We also have some manpower too. If you guys need help with manpower, and we've used to setting up different restaurants and things like that and helping out. And so, if you need hands and stuff, just let us know.
Yeah.
No, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
So, what else, you guys? I mean, what are the other obstacles you guys have coming? That you guys are dealing with besides the obvious.
That has definitely been the biggest obstacle so far because as far as getting tickets sold, like the minute I came into the office, we did have like our software and everything in our system that we're going to sell online for that. So all I had to do was essentially build out the schedule and build out like a few of our flexible options. Like we had a full season, but we didn't have a half season, for example. We have that now. We didn't have a mini plan when I came in. We have that now. So. Yeah, that was like some of the other thing is that we were kind of starting from scratch, so I just had to build those things out. But those systems are now going. We've been selling full seasons, we've been selling groups, we've been selling mini plans and all that. So that's been one of the not necessarily challenges, but one of the things to get a new operation going. But I would say that far and away the ballpark has been kind of like the biggest one as far as the planning process, because with that construction, we didn't know exactly what our home opener was going to be, and so therefore, we didn't know when we were going to move. When we were going to move in, and then from a ticketing perspective, we didn't fully go on sale with single games yet, which is the good thing because then now we had to push that back for 3 weeks, and season ticket holders like they're going to get every single game possible anyway. So then we were just able to adjust those plans a little bit forward. So yeah, I mean the biggest hurdle so far has been the construction because we've been able to do a lot of preparation ahead of time. Just with Frankie having a lot of the restaurant experience, he's still able to like build out a menu. Like we sampled
Yeah.
a lot of things from our menu recently actually doing a little bit doing a little bit of R&D.
Well, it's easy. You're just selling
Yeah.
pizza. Nothing else matters.
Exactly.
Nothing else matters. I mean, just do the pizza, call it good, you know. Easy,
Slice,
fast.
plate.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. It'd be like doing lunch rush for the high school, you know. Just bring them all in. Pizza, 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 pizza. We're good.
Right now, we're dealing with berry pass pickups at the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
So we've sold over 6,000 berry passes.
What's a berry pass?
A berry pass is a pass for kids 14 and under that gets them into all of our general admission games for the home season. Also, other attractions here in Salem. Off the top of my head, I could think of
Get air,
Get Air, Enchanted Forest,
Athletic Edge.
Athletic Edge,
Croc.
Croc, mini golf at Best Little Roadhouse,
Mm-hmm.
the driving range, right?
Yep, Oregon Garden,
Oregon Garden,
and then the YMCA pool.
YMCA. Oh, and then bowling in Kaiser.
Oh, and then the
At rec.
carousel too if he rides a day.
Yep, Riverfront Carousel.
Yeah.
Wow.
So right now we have lots of people coming into our office between 12 and 7 to pick up the berry passes.
That's great.
Yeah, because it's an in-person pickup only. Because we didn't want the potential for those to get lost in the mail. So yeah, we want people to come get them.
It's good
in
though
person.
that you actually, you know, I really
Yeah.
think that being able to introduce yourselves and do things like that is
Yeah.
I think it's super important. We spend a lot of time and energy and to try to get people to come into the pizza place just so you can start that relationship.
Of course.
I think it's super, super important because
Yeah.
once they've been in there, they know you a little bit. You know, it's just not an electronic transaction, things
Yeah.
like
face
that.
of the name and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's just the human element, which I think is really critical, especially when you're going to become part of a community.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's really
A
exciting.
lot of people at first, a lot of feedback we got was, "Is this real? It seems like a scam. It's too good to be true."
Yeah.
It's real.
Very real.
Wow, you guys have jumped in with 2 feet. You guys have really, really. That's exciting. I think that's really cool. See, you guys are impressing me. Like the uniforms, all that stuff. So far, you're like, you know, super, super impressed with what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So this season's going to be starting and stuff like that. Do you guys have any special nights? Do you guys have different things that you guys are doing there?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
building that out?
Yeah,
You
we
guys-
yeah we have definitely built out our promotional schedule, and we have some very very fun theme nights that we got coming up. So, I mean, right off the bat, we have our home opener like every time, like first Berries game ever in Salem at home. So, home opener is going to be a great time. But then like after that, we're gonna have a Lego night presented by Bricks and Minifigs. We're partnering with the local Bricks and Minifigs store because they're gonna have a few activities and fun activations there at the ballpark. And I love Legos personally growing up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like it.
This was a fun one to put together
Yeah.
and partner with them. We have that, and we're gonna have 2 of those nights, but one of them in the first week, and then after that, I mean, this is gonna be the end of June. So then, from there on that same Sunday, we're gonna have our Little League Day. So any kids who participated in Little League or any form of youth baseball are eligible for a free ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have some groups of parents that have gotten together, and so they've bought their group tickets together, and then they're able to bring out the kids for free as well with that special. And then after that, we have the 4th of July. I mean, in baseball, so like it runs right through the summer, but not every team gets to host the 4th of July, and we're lucky enough that we get to do that. It's going to be our one-day game of the year, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a hat giveaway for the first 500 fans, and so that's going to be another one. The day after that, on July 6th, the day after that, on July 5th, actually, we have our Star Wars night as well.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, no, we're excited about that one, and yeah, there's gonna be a few more fun.
You guys
ones.
need to put some of those sand guys out in the outfield, you know? Try to pick off some of their outfielders, you know?
There'll be people there.
One of the theme nights I'm looking forward to is Return of Al Capone.
Yep.
What?
So Bush Park 10 years ago had an owl that would attack people when they were running. And it's been 10 years now, so we're having a theme night based around Al Capone. That's what the community came and agreed to name that owl.
Yeah.
That is all. You know, that's the cool thing about doing. I'm glad that, you know, a lot of times people get so caught up in not, you know, getting out there a little bit
Yeah.
and doing some of those types of things,
Oh, yeah.
which make it pretty fun. You know, it brings a whole nother energy, a whole nother
Yeah.
element to it. I'm glad to hear you guys are doing that because I just think that, being in business, one of the perks that we have, well, most of the perks, everything else is just kind of like doing business, but is being able to work with the community, do different fun things, to do promotions, just to goof off, I guess.
Yeah.
To be like, adult children and get away with it and stuff, but be a part of the community to do that. I love that stuff. So, and
Definitely.
baseball is really probably the one sport I think that you can really incorporate a lot of that
Yes.
stuff into. I really enjoy that.
I think having baseball, and I think having baseball at this level and this league is perfect for Salem because it's in the summer. It's when everybody wants to. It's when everybody wants to be outside. It's a slower pace that allows for like a lot of those things and a lot of those little extra things that you're able to do at a baseball game that you wouldn't otherwise get to do at another game. And kind of to quote our general manager, one of his he has like more than 10 years of being in baseball, coming from his background at the Eugene Emeralds, but he says that one of our games should be like a community event that just happens to have baseball in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been his motto. That's always been how he looks at it, and that really goes to a lot of the mission of the Marion Berries in general, is that we want to be community oriented and community first.
That's what sold me on applying was community.
Same thing.
My whole
Honestly.
job was all about community as well. So I'm like, still want to be part of the community.
Yeah.
That's some of the fun
team.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really going to have some fun, is when you really get to, do those types of things.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I'm trying to think here. Baseball has been a big part of our company, and
Right.
it's just baseball is the center of our logo, of course, for a reason. It just really love sports, really like to be involved in that community of sports, and because it covers every age group, And I just had a conversation with the gentleman this morning who is one of the big wigs in PFG, the food group that we do all of our distribute. He's visited every ballpark but 8. That was his thing, is to visit every ballpark. And so he's got lots of stories. He actually at one point had he was rated the #1 memorabilia person in a certain category, and I'm like, holy cow, that is really immersive.
Wow.
Can't wait. We're going to bring him and he says we're going to have probably about 20-25 tickets. I need to talk to you about that.
Okay.
And we want to bring everybody together, all of
Yeah.
our company and stuff like that, and go to a game. And
That would
so
be awesome.
he offered that up to me this morning, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we could go to a game. I love baseball, so it's going to be fun. I said we need to be by the dugout, though.
Okay.
I want to buy the opposing dugout
Right,
because
right.
We want to badger those guys a little bit.
Always a good time to do that.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be lucky because your season tickets for Oddbills are near there.
Nice. No, I'm super excited. We're doing a lot of different giveaways and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, we had a franchise meeting here yesterday, and we're all excited about the different things we're doing because we're going to be putting your guys' schedule on top of our boxes.
Awesome.
We're doing the concession stand together, and you guys are providing us with some uniforms and stuff to have our employees wear, which will get them fired up about it, and that'll be cool. You're going to work in the kitchen once every Friday night, until the season starts. So I appreciate that. I love the fact that you're willing to do that. It's great. You work the weekend shifts, We could,
Maybe I can get one of the players to go in and make a pizza like we talked about it.
oh, well, I can't wait. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that I would like to do. Have the players come in and make it a little bit fun for them, too.
Right.
But that's something that we really enjoy doing. I mean, I bring a lot of kids, and we do kids as tours.
Yeah.
And, when I was a kid, it was the ones that you got to go in and actually do something, which was the fun stuff that you remember.
Exactly, yeah.
And so we have them come in. They make their own pizza. We cook them. We cut them. We box them and send them out with their own little box that has their pizza that they made in it. And so that's
awesome.
for me, it's a blast.
Yeah.
So having all the kids come out to the ballpark is kind of that same energy. Now, did you guys ever play baseball?
I didn't personally. No. I was more of a basketball and track person.
Yeah, and I did. I played soccer, I swam, and I played basketball. I always I'm gonna say I think I probably started liking baseball when I got a little bit older because a lot of the people who I lived with in college really were really into it.
Yeah.
Then I come to discover that my dad actually really likes it, but it's not something he really shared with me that much growing up because we definitely bonded a lot more over the basketball, especially.
Yeah.
But then my dad's from northern Mexico. A part of northern Mexico baseball is very popular.
Yeah.
And he even had a few kids that he grew up with on his block. A couple of them went pro. Actually, The guy who's known for the Mendoza line, that guy was actually lived on the same block as my dad.
How cool is that?
He's from Chihuahua, Mexico. Went on to the pros. He grew up in the same block as my dad.
No,
so
I love baseball, but
Yeah.
to hit a ball, it's not easy.
No.
I haven't
To,
tried yet. I know I'm not going to be able to.
the best I can do is in the cages, and that's a very controlled environment.
About that yet.
Yeah.
we were just talking. Yeah, as I say, we were just talking about this morning. I was talking about that. Hitting a ball at a certain mile per hour, and we talked about Nolan Ryan, and we talked about Chapman, who you're up in the hundreds up there,
Right.
and it comes so fast you can't even see it, and to be at a level to be able to actually hit something like that, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't
Even hit a
know.
golf ball, and that's not even moving.
Well, I'm right there with you. I'm right. I stick to the games like horseshoes. I can get close. I can actually do some damage.
It only
Cornhole, yeah.
almost only counts in horseshoes,
So-
as they say.
We said bullpen, or we said the hitting cages, and you guys kind of like lit up. So
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. So part of the Berries project is also having the team and having a lot of events for the community, but we also don't want things only to be limited to summers. As we know, we only get that short window of sunshine around here.
Yeah.
We want to have something that's going to be year round, and that's going to be something that everybody can use to a certain extent. So at our headquarters, which is called the farm, there's also going to be a hitting facility. And this facility is going to be, we essentially were able to turn a big warehouse into about 9 cages, an area for pitching lessons, a hit tracks machine. And so if you would just want to have a monthly membership and want to go hit some balls, like, you're able to do that. But if you also have kids that you want them to have hitting lessons, you want them to have pitching lessons, we also have the opportunity for lessons if you're a team that just wants to rent the space because you want to have practice there whenever it's too rainy outside or for whatever reason. You're able to come out to one of like the
My
other
arm's starting to hurt right now.
to
just
one of the
the thought of being
projects.
just to think about throwing a baseball again. My arm's like, hey, let me remind you that pain that happens when you throw a baseball. But that's really cool that you have that, because I think that, especially like when you say it, this is Oregon.
Yep.
You got basically 4 months of maybe decent, really good weather.
Yeah.
And then 8 months where it's kind of a crapshoot.
As we've seen the last 2 weeks, 80 degrees last Wednesday,
Uh-huh.
and it's raining.
No, it's been raining.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain till the week through the weekend. So
It's Oregon for you.
that's great though. And so you're able to get 9 batting cages plus other.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the cages can move, so if they want to do like an open field practice or something like that,
Yeah.
that's an option as well. Eventually, we'll have a weight room up in there, and
God, it's so exciting to be involved with something that's just new like
It really
this.
is.
It really is.
Because you guys really get to see it develop. And I think, people come in and after it's all said and done, they're going to be impressed by it.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys look at it and you guys remember what it's like when there was nothing there.
Oh yeah.
When you guys were, trying to fix the little problems,
Yeah.
yeah, putting out all the little fires.
I remember when we first got in, and the warehouse was just concrete. It was just a big concrete space. Now then, we see them putting the turf. We see them slowly bringing all the equipment. We've seen them put up all the netting. We've seen them paint the numbers on the wall to indicate which cage is where. We see even all the cards with all the cards with all the baseballs showing up. So seeing that from the ground up, it's been amazing.
It's really, I think the thing is pretty fortunate to be involved with something like that, because that's not something that happens all the time. And you guys having the opportunity to see this whole thing from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I've always been, I was able to, when I was younger, be involved with that with another company, and it really kind of shaped me, to be able to see that from where it was, and then to be a part of that vision, because somebody has to be able to look at that big concrete block and go, you know what, I can just see it, and then to watch it come to fruition is pretty amazing to be a part of. I think that's awesome. Baseball has done some changing here the last couple of years with pitch counts and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like baseball has been in somewhat of a slump for many, many years in different ways and stuff, and they've had to make some changes. And, they've gotten rid of whole leagues and things like that that are part of baseball. I really feel like baseball's back to where it's on the upswing again. I think that I'm just a conversation about it. That excites me to be a part of that. That's neat. But
Yeah.
you guys, this is going to be your first year coming up in this new league, and so tell us a little bit about the league.
Yeah, so the league is the West Coast League. Is the official name of the league. The level is Summer Collegiate Woodbat. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but to explain that part of it is that essentially you take players who are currently in college or going into college, like they're high school seniors who are finishing up and they've committed to a university. And so the college season runs essentially from the spring to about not even like the full summer, like the end of summer, and if you make it really far, you'll be playing into June. But so a lot of those players, like their season ends, and a lot of them want to keep developing, honing in on their skills, but they want to be doing it at a competitive level to hopefully one day get drafted. Because a lot of these guys in college, like that's the ultimate goal. It's like that's the top of the mountain. But so we take players who are currently in college. They play in a league like ours, and they're able to keep developing their skills, and it provides us something that is very close to a professional schedule and like a professional routine, because they're playing 6 days a week, so Monday through Sunday with Mondays being not Monday through Sunday, with Tuesday through Sunday, with Mondays being really the only set off day. And then the teams in the league that we'll be playing against, well, some of the more well-known ones in our region are the Portland Pickles, just up the road. The Corvallis Knights, which the Corvallis Knights they have a great partnership with Oregon State, so they've seen a lot of guys go from playing at the Knights to now being in the pros. And then there are 17 teams in the league, going all the way as far north as Edmonton, Canada, up in Canada. But we'll primarily be playing teams like Springfield, Corvallis, Portland, and then a few in Washington, like Walla Walla and Yakima, for example.
Yeah, the Walla Walla Sweets.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Not that I have ties to Walla Walla or anything, but I just still be rooting for the Berries. Just say that, But yes, Walla Walla is kind of my old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
But they have the Sweets, and then I'm trying to think here. So you. Yakima, I know that
Pippins. Yeah.
That's where my uncle lives, so
Nice.
It's already a rivalry there. That's nice, though.
Yes,
so,
it will be a really fun and a really cool level of baseball, because it's a lot of guys who are on their upswing of their baseball kind of career path. And then as our GM always likes to mention as well, is that in 3 years, we'll probably have our first Berries player drafted, and then in probably 5 years, we'll have our first Berries player making their debut, because that has been the trajectory of this league. You definitely see guys who are first starting out, and you will eventually see guys make it to the pros.
Yeah,
we keep track of all their stats and stuff with MLB, so we are kind of affiliated with MLB.
Yeah.
We just have to keep the tracks or stats and all that stored up. That way coaches and scouts can see that.
No, that's really exciting. So how many seats are going to be in the stadium?
So we will have a capacity of around 1,500, because we have about 900, a little bit over 900, just under 1,000 in the main seating bowl. Then we're going to have at least a bleacher space with 300, and then a few more social spaces with general admission as well. So yeah, roughly around 1,500.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's got to be a good crowd. I mean, I just really, the energy is when you get a lot of people in the stands and things like that, and that's always really a fun part.
We'll have a beer garden for people to hang out in if they want to get some beer and some cocktails. We haven't talked about it yet, but we'll have a picnic deck that will be for big parties and all-you-can-eat buffet there.
I'm super excited for you guys.
And even for all the kids, there's going to be a Berry Fun Zone in the outfield, and it's going to have like inflatables and everything.
All right, so a place for me. I like that. That's great. I just think that'll be great. I think what's funny about baseball, and it's always been like this for me, is it's like when you watch it on TV, it feels like the game lasts 6 hours.
Yeah.
And so I like the fact that they're speeding up the game.
I think that's helped a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that, but when you're at a ballpark, man, I just enjoy it so much that I feel like I'm only there like 45 minutes to an hour, and the game's already in the 8th inning. There's something about being at a ballpark that I can't explain. It's almost like a quiet energy where it's just you're constantly, it's like I really enjoy it. So I can't wait to be a part of it, especially, We'll talk about concessions a little bit.
Yeah.
We know you're going to have pizza there. Thank you. And What else do you guys have as far as offerings go?
Classic ballpark food. So we'll have hot dogs, nachos, pretzels, popcorn, cotton candy for the kids. We've actually partnered with Soul Sweets that will be providing our bakery options. So these are options. Some Marion Berry themed ideas, Rice Krispies, baseballs. It's going to be really awesome. And then, like we talked about a little earlier, we're going to have that picnic deck, which will have all-you-can-eat buffet for 90 minutes. So basically the whole menu, concession menu, will have barbecue pulled sliders, barbecue chicken sliders with Marion Berry barbecue sauce. Got to have Marion Berry in there.
Oh, I think it's important.
Oh, yeah. Can't be the Marion Berries without Marion Berry themed food. We'll have Marion Berry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, raspberry lemonade. Like, so we're inclusive to all berries.
Of course. Nope, it's good.
We'll have mac and cheese. Forgot about that one. Just some comfort food as well.
Yeah. No, yeah, because I think, what I did with my kids is I was like me one-on-one time with my kids whenever we go to a ball game or something. Yeah. And it was like, okay, we're going to get something to drink before we sit down. And then in the fifth inning, we'll get up and get you a treat or something like that. So either we get a drink and some food before we sit down, and then that covers, and it says, so 5 innings. Yeah. And then in the beginning of the fifth inning, we'll head up and we'll get something, because I kind of timed it with like the first 5 innings I could relax a little bit, enjoy the ball game, chat with one of my kids, and do that. And then the fifth inning, we get them a treat, kind of get them to get up, move around. And then the seventh inning, we get up, we stretch, we do all that. Right. So I thought I had it down to a science on how to enjoy my game, and so that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, Wednesdays we'll have $2 hot dogs.
Okay.
It's also going to be Wiener Dog Wednesday, so if you bring a dog, wiener dog dressed in a hot dog costume, you'll get a free hot dog.
That's funny. Yeah, I was say, how do you guys handle the pets at the park?
We'll have bark in the park.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time we'll allow dogs in the park.
Okay.
No, there's going to be designated areas for that, and only for the events that are bark at the park, or like Wiener Dog Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, but as far as the concessions goes, and as far as like providing fans a great experience, I mean, I always talk up Frankie's experience, as he has 10 years in the hospitality and restaurant business. He knows food, he knows quality food, so having something that is good quality and affordable, like, no, he's designing a great menu. Like, we had a great sampling of everything. Of everything recently, and he's picked out some really good stuff that we're excited for. I mean, if people talk about having a hot dog at a ballpark, even that he chose a really good one for. And then obviously Otmo's Pizza. You guys are going to be our official pizza provider, and I mean, it's we've tasted the pizza. Yeah, we know it's good. We know it's good stuff. So yeah, we're proud to serve that at the ballpark.
But having it right in the center of Salem is just super, super convenient.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the big visions that our owner saw, especially with having it at the location that we are at Busch Park, is that right in the middle of Salem. So anybody who's traveling, and even just like all the businesses around us, we're in a very central location. We're in a beautiful backdrop. Because as a longtime Salemite, I personally love Busch Park. I love like all the big trees there. I love just like the greenery and everything. So being able to catch a game there, just like with that backdrop and on a nice sunny summer day, like I think that's a wonderful location for it.
So parking.
Yeah.
I'm curious about. So.
Yeah, so as far
I can't wait.
Yeah, so as far as parking goes, like, I mean, we are going to be able to use the Busch Park parking. Mm-hmm. So the main lot that's going to be in front over there, like in front of there on Mission Street, that's going to be the main one. And then we have there's also like the one on the other side of the park. There's like a couple of different ones. And then in addition to that, it's going to be a lot of it in the neighborhoods. The good thing is that it is going to be free. Yeah. So I know sometimes with going to a game, people do factor in the cost of parking, but this year it is going to be free, since we're going to be using a lot of at the park. But
so parking, it's just kind of outrageous. I mean, it's nice. I'd rather be able to spend that money inside the ballpark.
Yeah.
Getting snacks and things like that, because concession gets out of hand too sometimes.
We're going to call berry buses for people that need assistance to the park. So
that's great.
Options. If you have to park far away, there'll be an option for you to get a little shuttle to them.
Yeah, have you guys looked at, because I was trying to think of like a map or something like that. How can they get access to see kind of where you're at, the games? I mean, do you guys have a website?
Yeah, we do have a website. So it's just MarionBerriesBaseball.com, all one word.
Okay.
And on the website we're still building out some of the things such as parking information and everything, because we're trying to get more, essentially.
Yeah.
We're trying to partner with people who are around the park and in the area. We're trying to increase the availability of parking, because it's great if folks can park at Bush Park, but also that has its own limitations with space and everything. I mean, we saw in an event like Awesome 3000, that parking lot filled up very quickly.
Yeah.
So as far as like FAQs on parking and things like that, we're still building it out a little bit, because we're actively trying to get more.
Probably the one question that I had was where you guys were located, is just trying to figure that out. But I think that there's plenty around there. It's just local. It's just like,
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. Having the berry buses and stuff, do you guys are probably working out where you pick up people from the berry buses, or are you just going to have them kind of...
I think we have 4. So yeah, they'll probably be parked in different areas of the park.
And they'll just be like essentially like doing their route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
I think as you get closer and closer to opening day, you get more and more amped up and more things.
With all the construction and getting the schedule out now, it's like, okay, it's coming quick now.
Yeah. Oh, it happens fast.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's going to come at you pretty quick. So because we're going to be putting the schedules and stuff on top of our boxes and stuff. When is that going to start? Like, when are we going to start seeing some activity from you guys for us?
So the schedule right now is posted and published on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, schedule is out there. Single games and ticket sales, we plan on going on sale with sometime in the next few days. We are finalizing a few details, but in the next few days we are going to be going on sale with single games. As far as tickets now, if you want to purchase some tickets ahead of the single game on sale, then season tickets, half seasons, mini plans, and groups are available for sale right now. There's more info on that on MarionBerriesBaseball.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, schedule is out there, and June 23rd on. it's showtime. They say we're starting right off the bat with an 8-game homestand.
I get all excited about this kind of stuff because sports and community and the businesses and things like that. There's just so much to work with there.
Yeah.
If you have people that have like an open mind and really want to do that, and so as a community business, I really appreciate being able to be involved and that you guys reached out to us.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Automos Community Networks. We had a blast highlighting the Marion Berries Baseball Club. If you want to catch a game, get involved, or simply support this amazing community team, visit them online or follow their journey on social media at MarionBerriesBaseball.com. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from our local community, because when we come together, we all win.